Give them a moment or two, asking the guys just to go around a couple of times in the arena with the bikes, and then we'll have a quick
Why do you go?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's enclosed in trees, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great talking tractors. Lots that happen are absolutely fantastic. So I'm looking forward to having a chat with them about that. We would of course, as you are aware, ladies and gentlemen,
early production. Yeah. But then in the south we work a lot of money because they're early wounds.
Stairs you can put up, you can
Have a look at your break.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he can hear you.
home from memorial buses. Around the outside of our section arena, we have our selection of stores, and behind the stores on the various traffic displays, we have motorbikes, cars, so it's all there for you to have a look at. The main reason for being here this weekend is the promotion of Steam, and I'm sure you'll find later on in the afternoon. So please come and join us now at the Centre Arena, and we'll have a little chat about our selection of tractors. We've got our tractors coming in round the outside, so that gives you a chance to have a little look at them, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're actually going to line them up. And rather more than the amount of tractors we'll be taking over to chat to you, we're very pleased to see him to come along and be with us over the weekend. He's had a variety of different types of tractors, so he's quite well versed in the different models that we have. So we're just right, thank you very much for bringing it today. Right, that looks great. Right, thank you very much for bringing it. The little grey Fergie there revolutionised farming by inventing the 3-point linkage on the back. It's actually removed off this particular tractor. Not the best example to show. Will it go? Will it go? It's going. So that was actually this part so far. You know what 4 years. Right, thank you for bringing it. Now what did you say with the 13th engine from the beginning or something? Hello there. Right, thank you very much for bringing it today. Now, what was the reason of the light tractors? This is very small tractors. Obviously, they're small now, all the shows. Remarkably powerful little tractors to say they've got the single cylinder, is it 6.5 horsepower, 6.25 horsepower engine got there. Is that the corner engine that's fitted? So this way I haven't got any brakes on it. I seem to remember this because I think last year we had a 10-year-old driving this car with no brakes on. This way.
You go back down there, then go to the radio. I don't say things that what are wrong loud. In a minute, please. I've had a problem getting water as well.
You're not enough to drink, more time as you want. not worried, I'm actually.
Number 15 is Miniture Steam. Miniture has come from Crompton near Wakefield, and it really is a super model, this one. I have to say that it really is absolutely great. It's a 4.5-inch model, and that particular one is a C-size. Now, just passing our commentary point is this one is Sligo. There the steam engine is actually a 4.5-inch scale, and that one is a drawbar. Very nice passing it, and he's brought us today a model Foster. Now this one is built in 2004, and it's not able to do a lot more information on it. We often chat about these scales, and one thing started with is a half-inch scale model from, I didn't quite catch what model exactly was, the model that we're looking at, and that particular one is Mr. Woodbright, and he's trying to from Sheffield. Now, that's actually a half-size model, and that was built in 2001. Let's carry on then, looking at our little models. We have Mr. Jones from Selby with his miniature engine. That particular one that we're now looking at is actually a little one, and is champion, and I'm not sure, it's not very old, that one. That was built in 2011. The others, the models, that particular one, Red Russell Grant today, from Sheffield. He has a model there, built by Millier, between the years of 2005 and 2011. The next one that we're looking at is a super little model. We call it Plowing, and that is the partridge who is joining us for the weekend, hopefully enjoying himself. That particular model is a Marshall, and was made between 1990 and 1994. It's actually named following memory of his mother, and
model of the bigger one. So the smaller one, the bigger one.
Looking at now,
Vader man.
for a half steam, I hope I'm right in that, and you'll be looking at Mr. Brian, and he has all the man to have a look at as well. Fantastic, absolutely. Now what is coming to us, we've got a Burrow Road locomotive here. It looks absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure what scale that is. Okay, it's a 9-inch scale then in that particular one. I'm looking for the details, I can't find it. So I'm already agree on there, so I'll see if I can dig that one out. 3/4 scale then, that particular one. That one was a little road locomotive. That's the chunks of scrap that was that particular one. And little radio that was now at the 6-inch scale road locomotive. That would be the middle. Carrying on then now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Fairbank, and he's joined us from Blackpool. Come all the way over. Quite close back all the way over from Blackpool to York Steam. We've got a strange that particular one is the leading guy. So we're looking at some really super ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about big, scale of approximately 3 inches or 4.5, right up to half scale. Then around about the 6-inch. In particular, the one that's nearest to it, lots of time to the guys, and I really do have to take my hat off to them. Because you think they really have to be very, very patient with the scale models that can be offered. Absolutely. I'm going to quickly mention another one, Foster's, Sassingers, Clare. That's in fact, the guys will start to make them, and they can spend 2 or 3 years after building these Miniture Steams. That one that was just passengers was John Cook, and he's been nicknamed the Basso Kid. I wonder why. With his Miniture tractors, that was the Foster's, and it actually was a general purpose engine, that particular one.
How's this good one? It's the last one, isn't it?
The software goes into models to be treated just like a large time that is taken to prepare the models, and that particular one that we're looking at, Clare, the Foster one, with a lot of restoration work done to it, and it was retuned in 2007.
And that's it for our show! And that's it for our show!
So we're getting our Miniture Steam organised. They're going to come round and, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, they've actually lined up in the centre of the field. I've just had a word with John, one of our stewards, and he's asked that we just give them a couple of minutes to get themselves organised, and we're going to ask any members of the public if they would like to take some photographs. Now's the ideal opportune moment. There aren't people walking in front of the models to take a really good photograph of the miniatures. So please do come along now into the centre arena and have a look at the Miniture Steam. As I say, you cannot call them models, it's wrong to do so because of the workmanship that goes into them. They are.
With a bag, it always reminded me of it's been a bit way down here. That's what reminded me. And it's worry about that.
That will be after our classic car display. Thank you then. Really must ask now, mums and dads and tired little boys and girls to leave our arena so that we can move our Miniture Steam to the gentleman with our Miniture Steam. Can I take this opportunity once again to thank you on behalf of the Committee of Sheffield Steam and thank you very much for the rally field. Obviously without you we wouldn't have a show. We hope that you'll enjoy coming and being with us, and we always welcome constructive comments. So now please, can we now ask for our miniatures to leave our centre arena? Thank you. We're having difficulty locating one of our ring stewards. Can I ask Tom to come along please to the bottom gate? Thank you. We hope that you're enjoying your afternoon with us, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget that Sheffield Steam is actually a club, and the rally is held with the members of the club. If you do have an interest in steam and other related items like old cars, classic cars, models, etc., then if you wish to become a member of the club, please go along to the main gate. They will have some information there, and you can join the club subscriptions are extremely low for the year. Within the subscription, you get a very interesting news sheet that's sent out to all the members. So if you have an interest in Steam, certainly if you would like to get involved with our rallies, please don't hesitate to make yourself known on the main gate should you wish to be a member. So now we're waiting for our centre arena to clear, and then we should be having...
You do a mile black. I went yesterday and there were 4 quid before, or if you had 8, Sheffield, but I like it.
To introduce the steam engines as they come into the arena today. We've got the first steamroller coming in now. It belongs to Les Don, who lives some distance away from here, and the machine itself is called Eve. It came back to the UK from Sri Lanka in the early 1990s in a bit of a deplorable state. Since then, Les has done a tremendous amount of work on the steamroller to make it in the pristine condition in which you can see it today. He's been helped over the years by several friends, including Andrew Biglands, who's on the rally field today, and also Richard Huller. Richard is a JI case, and it came to the UK a few years ago now. It belongs to Tony Ledbury. It was built in 1906, and it's one of the breed that has these rather interesting spoked wheels, different to the UK type of spokes in that they are a round bar as distinct from flat bar. The engine is mounted on the side of the boiler, and you can see that there's no lagging on the boiler. That was a traditional American style of manufacture. The case eagle is on the front, the trademark of the firm, and indeed this particular engine is called Grizzly, after, would you believe, the grizzly bears that are found in America. Case JI Case was the most prolific of traction engine manufacturers. Over the years they were in production, they eclipsed every other traction engine manufacturer in the world, because I understand that they built something like 56,000 engines. Now that's quite a large number of engines when you consider that the likes of Fowler, for example, made somewhere around 20,000, and Airblings made somewhere about 15,000. But Case made in the area of 56,000 engines. Tony also has another North American build of machine. This will be coming into the arena later. I say specifically North American because Case was in Wisconsin, one of the American states, whereas the other machine that Tony Ledbury owns was actually made north of the border, and by that I don't mean Scotland. North of the border in this instance, of course, is Canada. Coming into the arena now is a Wallace & Stevens traction engine made by the firm in Basingstoke down in Hampshire. Alan Jackson and his brother Fred own this machine. It was built in 1900 and it's called Victoria. A typical English-built traction engine with all the usual features. It's a single cylinder machine, whereas Les Don's machine I think is a compound. So you have there on the Fowler in front of the Wallace & Stevens a double-acting engine, as it were, in that the steam is used twice, more economical of course from that point of view, whereas the farmers in the early 1900s preferred a single cylinder machine, not as complicated, and therefore the price was right as far as they were concerned. The next engine coming into the arena is indeed Tony Ledbury's Canadian-built traction engine. You see there's a big headlight on front, which is something which is not normal to find on a British-built machine. This was built by the firm of George White in London. Now that's London, Ontario in Canada, not the big city down south. Again, this is a typical North American style of engine with the actual cylinder sitting on the side, a rather strange looking smokestack with a spark arrestor on the top, a little dome from which the steam is taken, dry steam to feed the cylinder, and also on the front wheels these round bar spokes which are non-typical UK manufactured machines. We're following on now with Ross Inman's very nicely restored Fowler compound steamroller with belly tanks. Tanks underneath the boiler to hold more water, or in some instances they were used for storing tar. And indeed this type of machine was fitted with the Fowler wood tar spraying equipment, so that the tar in the tar tanks could be heated by the steam, pumped to the back of the steamroller and sprayed on the road to be followed up by grit. Another steamroller then came along behind and rolled in the grit into the tar, so that we have the formation of roads. We even use tarring and chipping, of course, these days, and you probably know if you drive along on roads that have been recently tarred and chipped at more than about 20 miles an hour, you get stone chippings thrown up, and if you're very unlucky, they will break the windscreen. But Fowler's built a lot of steamrollers. It's a very similar type of machine to the one that is already in the arena, the one belonging to Les Don. Les, of course, is painted a nice maroon colour. Ross Inman's is painted black, and they were both typical Fowler liveries depending on the customer requirements. There's obviously going to be a short pause now while another engine owner gets his machine.
Just interestingly so, as we're waiting for another machine to come in, Derek, I wonder, having a look at both, if you could enlighten me a little as to what we have on the top of the chimney there. It looks like a top hat.
It does indeed look like a top hat, and its function was to prevent sparks going out of the top of the chimney and setting fire to things around. Now bear in mind that most of these American machines machines were either used for ploughing, direct haulage of ploughs, or indeed they were used for threshing. And with all threshing machines, you obviously have corn, and it is very inflammable. Consequently, a spark from the engine, from the fire, especially if they were burning wood, would cause a major problem in and around the threshing area, and thus losing people money, of course, because if the stuff that they were processing was burnt, it was no longer available for sale afterwards.
Any particular reason looking at the machine why we have two flywheels?
For the threshing machine that was being driven. That was a conventional thing. Most of the engines on the field that today have indeed got flywheels. Steamrollers on occasion were used for driving equipment such as stone crushers. Both of the American machines were fitted with governors and therefore were capable of driving threshing machines. And usually for that sort of thing, the flywheel itself had a slight dome on it. It was not the case on steamrollers, for example, but because they generally weren't used for driving other equipment, but they could be if necessary. The rather faster steamroller that has just appeared into the arena, the maroon one, with Selwyn Coughlin's name on it, is manufactured by the firm of Burroughs at Thetford in Norfolk. They were prolific manufacturers of traction engines and shovel engines. The number of steamrollers they made was not excessive, but very few of them now are in preservation in the UK. So it's very nice to see this one here belonging to Selwyn. A somewhat rare example of a Burrell steamroller. Nice, big, chunky, and very much a product from an agricultural manufacturer. The first of our steam wagons is now here. This one comes from the Lincoln area, and it's never been in this rally before. It belongs to Peter Auger, and he's driven it here some 40 miles or so from his residence in the Lincoln area. It's a Sentinel S6 model. You can count the wheels on it and you'll find that there are 6 wheels, differentiated from the 4-wheeler, the S4, or indeed the larger version, which was an S8, an 8-wheeler. It has a rather higher carrying capacity than the S4, and obviously not as much carrying capacity as the larger S6. We have another Sentinel wagon on the field today, which will make an appearance hopefully before much longer. And coming in now is a Fowler traction engine, another from the steam plough works in Leeds. Has been overtaken, from what I can see, by Rob Tyler's little Fowler tractor. Tractors were made from about 1904 onwards, a small version of the traction engine, in order to pull lighter loads, of course. They were fairly nippy on the road, as Rob is actually accelerating along the back end of the arena now at a somewhat faster pace than the steamrollers and the other traction engines that appeared up to now. I first saw this steam tractor on pallets in an auction sale in Exeter in Lincolnshire several years ago. Rob was the fortunate highest bidder on that particular occasion, and it's good to see it here fully restored and being driven at some speed about the rally field. A machine that's just crept in from the bottom corner of the rally field is this Aveling Porter steamroller, out of the Adventure. An overhead spike valve compound roller dating from the early 1900s. and it was originally supplied to Wales, who worked in the Denby area. Another one that crept in, not from the top end of the field, but this one being owned by John Colwell from near Gould, is another Sentinel S wagon. This one has got 4 wheels, as you can see, and they're fairly speedy items of these machines. This one's originally worked in the Sheffield area, and I've travelled on one of these at around 50 miles an hour down the A1 in days gone by. Owned by Ted Ashton from Robertson, on his way to the rally at Northampton in Lincoln many years ago now. Venture, the Airling and Porter machine, is one of not very many on practical from this particular time. We look at some Fowler engines, they were also overhead fly valves of a similar type of cylinder. The Fowler traction engine, which is towing the Jones Baler, belongs to Mrs. Jill Walters, former Eton, and is being driven on this occasion by David Knapper, who is one of the committee members from the Leeds and Dictrict Traction Engine Club. It's hauling, as I say, a Jones Baler, something that it would have powered on the farms in days gone by, along with a threshing machine. Not being able to bring today a threshing machine, they brought along this Jones Baler, and perhaps later on in the day they may well couple up the Fowler traction engine to the baler and set it in motion. The name of this Fowler, just passing the commentary point now, is James Penfold. It worked most of its life in the south of England, in the Sussex-Kent area. And the cylinder on this machine, a compound, is of the same design as the Airling roller I spoke about earlier, the green one by the name of Venture. Coming round now is the Burrell traction engine with the name of Bloomfield of Stowmarket beside. This machine was built again by the Thetford firm. It's a single crank compound and it was manufactured in 1907. It's the sole remaining example of a Burrell Aberdeenshire type of engine. It's owned by Peter Green, and it's here today, I think the only representative of a Burrell single crank compound machine that we have on the field. Compound machine, as I said earlier, is one that uses the steam twice, and Burrell's actually patented this particular type of cylinder with a large one and a smaller cylinder at more or less 45 degrees, and sometime before the First World War, German manufacturer by the name of Ruttermeyer actually pitched this idea and made a lot of steamrollers with this same type of design. Whether Burrell's actually ever had any recompense from that, I don't know, but it is certainly a different style of machine. It means that there is only one connecting rod going back to the, or one set of equipment going back to the crankshaft, and it certainly was successful as far as the Burrell firm was concerned. The Marshall roller, just passing the commentary point now, was owned originally by Leicester County Council. It was built in 1925 and was one of a number of similar machines owned by the council at that time. It's featured quite extensively, big article about it in All Glory, in the magazine All Glory in recent times, and it was owned by the late Peter Wood and has been rallied for quite a large number of years. Following the Marshall, we have a long-distance visitor, or at least it was at one time. The plate on the back says Argyll and Kyneton, and indeed Kyneton is in Australia. So the Fowler traction engine, owned now by Andrew Biglands, was supplied by John Fowler in about 1908 to Australia. It did all its working life there. It was brought back to the UK by Dave Barris a few years ago and is now rallied and owned by Andrew Biglands, who lives in Sheffield, quite locally. And I understand he has driven it here and will undoubtedly be driving it away again afterwards. The steam wagon that crept past me while I was talking about Andrew's Fowler is a very rare machine, this being a Garrett steam wagon made in 1920, belonging to Mick Walters from Paddington. Mick has been very lucky with this machine in that he's had the help of his father-in-law, the noted Garrett expert Bob Whitehead, to help him in regard to the restoration of his steam wagon. And it's a big credit to him, to Mick, that he's been able to drive it up and around the countryside for a number of years now. The large Fowler road locomotive that just come past the commentary point belongs to Mike Middlewood and is indeed a large engine built for heavy haulage. Bigger than a traction engine. It was used on the roads for hauling large indivisible loads that wouldn't fit on the railway. In the late 1880s, early 1900s of course, the accepted means of taking items around the country was by rail. But there were certain things that wouldn't fit on the railway, and consequently they used road locomotives for this purpose. We now find an enabling steamroller going at some speed past the commentary point, owned by Matt Childs, steered by his father, Trevor. This one came back to the UK from Thailand. Matt was lucky to be able to buy this from Thailand, and he's done an awful lot of work on it since its return about 5 years ago, and a credit to the Childs family for that. The Aveling and Porter Showman's tractor, which has just come past the commentary point, was manufactured as a convertible in 1912, owned by Derek Webb. It's not been out for a large number of years. The last time it's recalled it was attended an event was in 1992 in Lincoln. And it's been off the rally fields for a while now, looking somewhat pristine. It was built, as I said, as a convertible engine. Convertible being one that had a flange on the front of the sport box that could be used for either a steamroller in winter or a threshing machine in summer, or vice versa, as the moon took the owner. Both of them were supplied to county councils for dual use. But this one was converted in Kent a while ago, and has been off the road for a while, but it's good to see it back on the rally field. With the OS registration, it obviously was supplied to Scotland, or has worked in Scotland, in a particular area, before it went down to Kent. So a fairly well-travelled engine in the UK. The other thing about the Derek Webb old machine, of course, is that underneath the tarpaulin at the front is a small dynamo, and the engine is able to drive the dynamo and thus provide electric power to fairground rides, larger machines of which we don't have a representative here on the field today. The Showman's engine, the big and great and glorious Showman's engine, much more powerful machine, was used to haul the loads between the fairs, sometimes with a crane on the back to actually erect the rides on behalf of the showman, and then spent all day and most of the night generating power to make the rides go round, to get the money in from the punters who rode them, and then finish sometime after midnight to pull down and go on after the fair's been pulled down to the next show. We have got another engine that's just coming into the arena, it being another Fowler made by John Fowler's of Leeds at the Steam Plow Works. This being a rather large ploughing engine. This has got a winding drum underneath the boiler, and two of these machines were positioned one each side of a field, the wire rope paid out, and then a balanced plough hauled between them from one side of the field to the other. Driving this one is Sparky on behalf of the Clear family. We were sad to lose Ephraim Clear a couple of years or so ago. You had reached the wonderful age of around 90 and had owned the two ploughing engines, the other one is on the field as well. He owned these two ploughing engines for a number of years, and it's a credit to the Clear family, assisted by Sparky, that they are later on today. They are intending to provide a demonstration of hauling, not in this main arena, but over in the arena to my left, to my right, towards the far end of the field and where the fair is, so that if you make your way over there sometime later on in the afternoon, you'll be able to see a couple of ploughing engines there with the wire rope paid out, hauling something, probably a large traction engine, up to the engine, so that it will be demonstrating how ploughing was done in days gone by. John has been into rallying for almost 60 years now. That's getting on an awful lot of time to be spent taking steam engines to and from events, and we're very grateful to him for his persistence in this respect. just setting off now from the engine line, so he'll be appearing with us in a very short while. In the meantime, I'd like to congratulate all the engine owners
in taking this minute silence as we remember and thank for their help and assistance here at Sheffield over the years, Mark Black, Alan Jackson and Les Dodd Senior. Thank you.
Can I now ask the engine men if they would conclude this particular memorial with a blast on the whistles?
Over this weekend and indeed with past events. We couldn't have a show without you. We certainly hope that you enjoy coming to us, and once again can I say a very, very big thank you, gentlemen, for coming and being with us. So we now clear the centre arena with our main steam, and as I said earlier, we are endeavouring to ask one or two to return later on in the afternoon. We hope that they will allow us the privilege of letting one or two boys and girls have free rides round the centre arena. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We do have a steam engine with a baler, as you'll see, ladies and gentlemen, in our centre arena. Now, they will actually be leaving our main arena and making their way down to the edge of the playpen, where we hope that we'll be able to see them with their demonstration of baling a little bit later on in the afternoon.